Spider-Man, I've gotten all I wanted out of that game for $60. And this is not the down Marvel Spider-Man or Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, which is like, I think one boasts like 20 hours and the other one boasts like 10
Mhm.
hours. Just think about that. They spent $60 for a single player experience. They got those hours and they were happy with it. People that put in so many hours, at least hundreds of hours into Marvel's Avengers for $60 and haven't really have to spend a cent unless they actually chose to. But for some reason, it's a problem.
Yeah, it just it's I don't know. It's just I think it's just a general consumption of people just don't like live service games, to be honest. When it comes to that, and plus, people probably got different opinions and all that, but I don't know. For some reason, like say for instance, like some of the buzz that is in Spider-Man Miles Morales, even though they're not as big as some of the things in Avengers, people just I guess they just take it more likely on Miles Morales when you find bugs. So I find bugs into it, even like I'm on the PS4 and all that. I've even found bugs that that stop my gameplay, or I had to just hard restart my game just to even continue. But when it comes to Avengers, it's a it's like an uproar. Like it's just like everything going wrong when it's Avengers. I'm like, I don't see I just don't see. It's just I feel like it's just they're just not really like playing into the the right field with it, to be honest. Just playing like favoritism a little bit, I think, just a little bit.
Yeah. People hold live service games to an almost impossible standard compared to the usual single player experience. It's like you can't tell me that once you platinum Spider-Man, which in my opinion it doesn't take a long time to platinum
Yeah,
Spider-Man, and you completed all those side quests, you put the game down because it's a one and done kind of deal. You know what I'm saying? There's not much you can do out of it. It's not like Grand Theft Auto where I can just do heist and all these things. Like most you're gonna do is just swing around with Spider-Man and save the day. But it's just so insanely crazy, how people just hold the games as a service to like this high, super, super high standard. But on the same token, it's totally different for like something like Marvel Spider-Man or any other single player game within that genre.
yeah,
And funny thing is, me and June actually really mentioned this before when we were talking about Miles Morales. The reason why I didn't pick it up is more so because don't get me wrong, I love Spider Man, I love them both, but it's just more so that, like if you only do the main story, it's only going to take you about what I want to say 6 hours at the most, because that's how long it took for GTA.
yeah.
If you
It
really
only
think
took
about it,
6 hours.
Yeah.
yeah, about 6 hours. Thing is with Avengers, even though there's really nothing here right now, I can still keep coming back to it because like there's still stuff that I want, still stuff that I need to do. And the issue with games like those, like you got Spider-Man, Ghost of Tsushima. Don't get me wrong, those games are fun, but after you finish it, there's pretty much nothing left to do other than replay the story or go back and do challenges that you maybe might not have done before. Because I've played through every single Batman game in the series at least 3 times each, and it was repetitive, and it took me no time because I knew exactly what was coming, and I knew what to do. I knew what to do and when I needed to do it. With live service games, it's different. Like when you have raids and stuff, when you have new scenarios that's being thrown at you every time, when you're getting involved in new missions that spawn different enemies. Like for example, once we get our hands on the cake mission, because I believe it was said the final mission in her DLC, there's a multiplayer version of it that's multiplayer only, and that's going to be bumped up way higher than the actual story mission. So like, keep when you can keep coming back to stuff like that, that at that point, that's when it starts to become less repetitive than I would say some single player games.
Yeah,
Yeah. And I agree with that too. I think just a lot of people initially coming into the game who was just kind of, again, just general audiences, like, it was little stuff like, oh, we have to buy this, we have to buy that. And then, us as content creators are like, hey, like you don't have to buy this costume. That's 100% on you. And I remember like even at the high end of, showing off the character models and stuff, they're like, these are like the MCU characters. It was just from the start, it seemed like people just were having it out for this game from the beginning. It's just like, guys, give it a chance. Let's see what it's like. Let's see what the gameplay is like. But once we started seeing more things, the models got updated and things like these characters coming out, like Kate Bishop, her change. I think it's a big experience difference now than how it was at the beginning. Because even for myself, I know we were talking about Miles Morales just a second ago. I actually my Miles Morales froze on PS5 twice. And I wasn't really like bugging about it for some particular reason. The same mission I did it twice, it just froze every single time. So I'm like, whatever, close it, reopen it. And again, people just have a huge uproar. If that was Marvel Avengers, people would have lost it, delete the game right then and there. It's just baffling, you know. So I'm like, yo, I paid. In my case, I bought the collection, so I paid $60 for my Miles Morales and the remastered, and even my remastered glitched. Everybody who was on the street glitched in the water, so they were walking on water. And I was like, "Yo, what's going on with the game here? Like, what's happening?"
Like everybody turned into Jesus on
Yeah, exactly. So,
the Jesus effect.
but it's just like that. Like your casual fans, your fans, the same people who be like, "Yo, Marvel Avengers is glitching." Nah, this game is trash. If that was Spider-Man, they'd be like, "Oh, it's just okay. I'll just restart it." You know what I'm saying? You gotta have that. You gotta have that equality. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have the same perspective. If anything, I'd be more pissed if I was that fan. If I paid, for the single player experience, nothing to do with online, just nothing but story, and then
This is game $70 now.
Right.
exactly.
Sony looking at you.
Like it's just kind of bananas how everyone is, it treats a certain game over another game, and again, I know Marvel Avengers it's had some waves, it's got its moments, but I feel like again once the DLC starts getting rolled out, like we get Kate Bishop, then we get Hawkeye, we get Black Panther, and whoever kind of falls in the path after that. Whenever Spider-Man drops, I know a lot of PS fans are beyond excited about that and praying and hoping to God that's Insomniac Spider-Man, but I told them not to hold their breath on that one. So, so they're ready for those DLCs, and I think that's when the game will start really picking up. If a player comes in, a couple months down the line, like, oh snap, this kid is in, this kid is in, this kid is in. Oh, I can go to this place, Wakanda. I can go to, hopefully one day we get Asgard or something unlocked. That'd be dope. Like things of that nature. I think that will really change the perspective of what the fans, could have had back then versus what they're gonna be looking forward to in the future.
Because I also want to chime in there because like on one thing you said earlier, one of the things that would help this game out majorly because now for me, for example, now I feel like Kate is going to be a good stepping stone, but I don't believe it will be Kate necessarily because essentially, look at it this way. So me and June have played Destiny heavy, and we both know Destiny has been through its share of issues.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I would say Avengers needs its comparison to I want to say something like the Taken King or Shadowkeep.
Oh yeah. Facts.
If that big expansion that comes along with the game being relaunched and redone, I feel like going to bring back a lot of players, especially with some of the characters that were leaked. Now, I don't really want to, get into that. I mean, I don't really want to get into that, but some of the characters, I am excited to see. In Spider-Man, for example, a lot of people, I feel like a lot of people that were trashing are pretty much going to turn heel and come back just for him.
Yeah. And that, truth be told, I think that is what it's gonna be. Is Spider-Man's in the game? I gotta pick it up now. You know what I'm saying? At least for the PlayStation people, Xbox. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean that.
not much we can.
I mean that's if he's just a time exclusive or not. As if.
Yeah, I still believe. I don't know if you guys do, but I believe that he's going to be a time exclusive.
Yeah.
Everybody has this misconception that Spider-Man is just owned by Sony, and Sony can make all the decisions, and if they don't have the final say so, then he's not going anywhere. But I'm pretty sure that Sony spent a certain amount of money to secure this exclusive deal that's only for a certain amount of time. I don't think this is going to be just like a one and done thing because like why would you want to just develop a character just to have them on one platform?
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How is that going to work with all the other stuff? Are you going to work around that and say, oh, you're just not going to mention this character when we bring out all these other characters? How are they going to bounce off of Peter Parker?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Within that story, because that's another thing that's going to get people back on board. Because if you guys notice, like when video clips of this game started surfacing on YouTube, like during the embargo, like a lot of stuff that people were getting hyped about and like they were actually warming up to the game about was the story aspect of it.
Yeah.
Like I remember game clips, screw them. I can't stand them because they spoiled so much of Miles Morales for me, like before I even got my hands on the game. But like when game clips were uploading those clips and stuff, and people were noticing how well the story was done, how Crystal Dynamics was implementing these cool, tight structured set pieces, just like you see up in Marvel Spider-Man. People were like, "Oh man, this game looks good." You know, I can look past the designs; they've grown on me. That's going to be something that sells, sells them back on it. And I see Crystal Dynamics doing that. They're focusing on the story aspects too when they're delivering these additional characters.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And because of the story, our newcomer Kamala Khan, Sandra Side, because I believe it took place today. She won, what was it? I think best performance.
Oh yeah,
She won.
yeah, she deserved it.
Yeah.
She deserved it. She did
Oh,
good.
100%. That was the heart and the soul of the game
She
right
did
there.
good.
And and even as a whole, for people who did play the story, like they have a new profound respect for just Kamala Khan's character in the comics. Like even myself, like I knew of her, like I did, like based off of like the one Lego game I played, like comics I've read, Ultimate Alliance 3. Like I know of her character, but I didn't really know her. Um,
Same here.
Even myself, I spent some additional time kind of like researching her character, some more of her lore, and then of course now we know she's getting a whole television show just because of the spike in popularity of that character,
Yep.
right? So I think it plays once you learn about the characters and again, like we were saying, you get used to those character designs. Like now I don't really hear that issue as much anymore, but you kind of just really get used to it. So for the most part, I've seen progression at least in that area.
Yeah, Marvel. The people over at Marvel know what they're doing. Like Marvel Entertainment, they know how to introduce these characters. Because like if you guys noticed, before like Into the Spider Verse came around, Miles Morales was already walking around in Insomniac's world of Marvel Spider-Man.
Yep.
I always try to tell people that, because it seems like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse has become so popular and mainstream that people just base every version of Miles off of that. They say, "Oh, he needs to have the Air Jordan ones," and I'm like, Miles wasn't wearing no Air Jordan ones up in Insomniac's version
Facts.
before that movie came out. So why would he be wearing them now? Why are y'all so butthurt that this dude has on Adidas instead of like Jordans?
Only
This ain't this ain't the Into the Spider Verse Miles. This is Insomniac's Miles. It's a difference.
that was
Yeah.
my only issue. If they were high tops, I would have been fine because I like Adidas, but I know I can't do low top.
I feel that.
I can't do it.
But
Oh man, I know for me, and again, looking in the future of this game is, like we said, I think Black Panther, Kate Bishop. I haven't read too much personally on her character. I don't think she's gonna be a huge selling point, but I think it's a start to kind of get the engine going, right?
yeah.
Once Black Panther drops, we get Wakanda, we get those raids, really just once we get to play as his character, okay, that's when I see the game going from so I play from time to time, like, hey, I'm playing this game like a couple of times a week, like I'm doing the raids, I'm coming back to get costumes every Thursday or so, like I think that's when we'll start really ramping up on just bringing in new players, bringing back old players, and things like that.
True.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that it's like that. Well, I keep saying Insomniac, but there's a lot of stuff that Crystal Dynamics has up in the chamber. A lot of bullets that are they're gonna fire off. They're gonna get people's attention. We still haven't gotten the MCU suits yet, which I'm pretty sure is gonna get a lot of people hyped to come back and play.
Oh yeah.
Because that seems to be the thing that everybody was just so obsessed over. Why don't they look like the movie counterparts? And like you said, all the other stuff too. So yeah, it's like this game isn't dead just yet.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff they can do to redeem it.
Game ain't dead until they turn off the service.
That is true.
Exactly. I know personally for myself, I actually have a friend at work, and he's a big comic guy. We already said I don't even care the price point. Once they drop the MCU suits, I'm here for it. I'm dropping the bands, whatever it costs. I'm buying it. I need them
I ain't
suits
gonna look.
just to have them. You know what I'm saying? It's just I just want to have the look. If I'm gonna have everyone in the MCU suits, I might as well.
People
why
gonna
not?
drop a bag on that. I can already see it. They go.
You already know.
I'm dropping a cool $30 and going about my day.
Right.
Here's my only thing with MCU suits, because this is one thing that a lot of people tend not to recognize, is that throughout a good portion of the movies, with the exception of a couple of people, like for example, Scarlet Witch or Captain America, going from the first movie to Civil War, and then from Infinity War to Endgame. A lot of the characters have pretty much had these same suits for a good run of their careers just with minor altercations to it. Iron Man, for someone example, like pretty much every suit he has can do some of the same things, but like they look different, they feel different, all of that. Widow, like what with the exception of what the Age of Ultron shoot, she's pretty much had almost no changes, like not that many major changes to her costume until I want to say what Infinity War.
Yeah, I think yeah.
These costumes would be great, but what I'm trying to tell people is there's not going to be that many MCU costumes for every single person as you think is going to be.
Yeah. Because like I know Cap has a good amount of suits. Iron Man obviously has the most out of anybody. But when you look at like MCU Black Panther, he's only got 2 suits, unless they drop like the Golden Jaguar suit and the T'Chaka suit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you don't have many options. Same thing with Scarlet Witch. She only has 2 costumes in the game as well. And like you were saying, Black Widow, she's got very minor, things. Hulk doesn't have many MCU suits.
He does that really
to be honest.
Professor Hulk.
Like
Hulk was his first major suit change.
And like, I mean, if they drop it, that's a cop instantly. But there's not many suits they're gonna drop. So I'm kind of wondering because I'm not gonna front like I don't like Captain America's first Avengers movie suit. It's kind of ugly. It really is. We already have a version of this, but his best suit to me is his Winter Soldier suit. That's the best
Winter
suit
Soldier, raw.
Yeah.
Wait. When you say Winter
Yeah,
Soldier,
everybody, they seem to like relate to the Captain Steve Rogers suit.
the stealth suit? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, the stealth suit.
All right, okay, we on the same page here.
So that is his best suit. And for me, like as much as I like all these Iron Man suits, I really just want the last one he used in game.
Okay,
Yeah.
You mean when he finally got the scales armor after it?
Yeah, like
what 10 years to do so?
Yeah, and same thing with Iron Man. Like that suit is the same thing I want. Like every suit.
I don't want that first movie suit. That shit was
No, like I don't. Yeah, we don't need the first movie, so we pretty much got a version of that already. There's a couple of suits I think that they can introduce. That I just hope they make it worth it overall, and they're not ridiculously priced either.
Yeah, like I think that's one thing that like Crystal Dynamics and the design team they need to work on actually creating pre-existing suits that look like they can exist within the MCU or any kind of live action movie. Because I think that's where Insomniac does so well.
Oh yeah.
Like in terms of designs, just having these talented artists bring these suits to life in a way that we never really could have imagined. If you haven't had a chance to see these suits in any kind of live action format, they at least give you an idea of what the suits could look like. You could see from the different textures and stuff like that and the design patterns. That's what Crystal Dynamics needs to do. They need to find like somebody that can actually bring those pre-existing suits to life. Give us something else, because I think we kind of noticed that there's a limited amount of suits, and most of them are just variants, and different color swaps and stuff.
Yeah. Compared to like using Miles Morales, like in the comics and even in movies and everything like the animated, he doesn't have that many suits. They really pulled out the imaginative side of like the artist to bring all these different suit variations. I'm like, bro, like he does not have this many suits.
I know.
But y'all really came out here with these suits. Like there's a couple of them that I really like, and even the pre-order suit, the one that's the white and the red,
the track suit.
Oh
yeah, that's fire.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's actually from one of the comic book illustrators.
So like that's I can agree. I think that's what they need to on the Crystal Dynamics side, bring in some artists, because again we have the Super Soldier suit, the one that we essentially start with for Captain America, and then you get a desert color, you get an Arctic color, you get this color, this color, this color, and then it's color swaps. Like I don't really care for the color swaps a whole bunch, because I use about the same 2 or 3 suits, and I may switch the color every now and then. And even for Iron Man, the one that I really want, we haven't even had in the game yet. So yeah. It's like the Stark. It's the Bleeding Edge suit, not the Stark suit of his version, but the
actual Bleeding Edge suit.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting on personally. Like I haven't seen that.
Iron Man. That is Superior Iron Man.
Like both would be good. I saw people swooping up on their unworthy Thor. I didn't get mine. I'm kind of bummed.
I didn't get mine either. Well, when I saw it was glitched, I just didn't even waste my time with it. But people got theirs now.
Must be nice, but I think like things like that, like when I saw, I was like, I instantly grabbed a controller and was like, turn on the console. This needs to be bought now. Like hopping on, I was like, oh, this ain't even here. So I think if they bring more suits, bring in more designs, pulling those from the comics, and it doesn't have to be even MCU related. Just bringing those in from the comics that fans will like and giving us some diversity, some change, like just to make even though the character is fundamentally the same, it feels different. You know.
Yeah.
I've been saving for cake. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, I kind of caved in on Cap's Legendary suit. I ain't gonna lie, I had went ahead and purchased that one. Like
Oh
that
yeah,
one was pretty dope.
I did too. I knew for the meantime that was probably gonna be the closest thing I was gonna get for like an end game-ish suit. So I was like, you know what? Let's go ahead and
Might
scoop
as
it
well.
up. And since I'm a cat main, I was like, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and just treat my boy right one time, get him looking right.
I feel that.
Yeah,
But I ain't gonna lie. I feel like not a lot of people talk about it, but the fact that this game is like 50% off, I feel like it's a steal. Like I really feel like it's a steal. Cause you getting you getting all DLC characters and DLC for free, and it's $30 right now. That's a steal.
That's what people. That's what people don't.
I feel like
understand.
that's a steal.
We've all said this multiple times. Not only as content creators, but as friends to one another, trying to get other people into the game. You don't have to pay for anything outside of the base game. You don't have to there is no excuse for you to be coming to me saying you're mad at me because I made you buy this game when you only spent $60 on it when you was ready to spend it on Fortnite. No. You suck at Fortnite. This is a much better purchase. And then on top of that, like Jim said, everything is free. You don't got to go in your pocket for anything else. It's that simple.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
like I've and I used to cover like anime games in the past, and I'm like, looking at some of those, not I don't know how to really put that in the nicest way. I guess not the best anime games, right? It's just like we spent $60 on this plus buying DLC for the game. Now you can you can buy Marvel Avengers, not pay for a DLC character ever, not pay for a costume ever, and you still get full-fledged characters, story content, and much more. Which one you really mad at me about? This anime game we shouldn't have bought, or this game we should be buying, playing together, unlocking different costume suits, areas, and all this stuff. Like,
Right, man. Like I say, man. It's just the popular thing to do is to like just badmouth the game.
Sure.
You know, especially if you even haven't bothered picking it up, which most content creators that have shat on the game haven't done. They haven't really bothered playing the game. And you have those who just want to play the game just so they can make a bad review about it. Dreamcast guy.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I just be, I don't like people be telling me to like watch these videos. I'm like, ain't no point in me watching the videos if they really didn't spend over like real time like playing it. Like they probably played. I'm not gonna say they haven't, but they probably played like like a couple hours or like 20 some hours. But to like really flesh out, get aired like all like your gear straight. Like if you get your gear straight on your character, you could be OP as hell.
Right. That's the thing. People are so bothered by not seeing the aesthetics change when you upgrade the gear that they didn't really bother to see the effects of the gear itself because they kept saying, "Oh, I don't see any difference in this gear like that I've upgraded. Like where's the plasma and all this?" It's like they didn't bother to put enough time in it to see the actual results of it and play around with it because that's one of the most funnest aspects of the game, just playing around with all the different gears and building your idea character.
Right. And the combat too.
Yeah.
The combat in this game is top tier. Like
yeah, I think people easily just dismiss like, bro, there's no other game, and I had a person talk to me about like, yeah, like I like Ultimate Alliance better than this. I'm like, are you serious? Are we really having this conversation right now? Like Ultimate, like don't get me wrong, I love Ultimate Alliance. It's a fun game. All three are fantastic, but I'm not doing combos with Captain America like that. You know what I'm saying? In this game, I'm doing combos, I'm doing tricks, I'm bashing the shit off of every single opponent, throwing it back at me, doing combos left and right. Like you don't get that anywhere else, especially in superhero games like that is Marvel related besides Spider-Man. The crazy part is for me is like DC does well. Like Batman is probably one of the most known superhero games of all time. The entire Arkham series, right? And then followed by that, it's going to be the Spider-Man series at this point with Miles Morales and Spider-Man. But there is no other game so far, and I know Gotham Knight's coming out, but Marvel Avengers is doing it well. It's a multiple character combo, like the combos are
Facts.
crazy. The things you could do, and I've watched like everyone like Lejeune's combos with Hulk is ridiculous. My man is knocking out multiple millions worth of damage. Like you can really adjust it to your play style. There's not many games letting you do that. Like once you lock everything in Spider-Man, like you can switch up, you can do some cool tricks and stuff, but you can't change anything up additionally besides kind of what you already have there. You can't add anything else. There's no effects to it. Nothing. I will say Miles Morales did add a little something on there because that Venom is kind
Yeah,
of dope. But outside of that, there's not really much else compared to like Avengers. We can add on these different attributes that really changes the gameplay.
true.
Speaking of
Yeah.
attributes, it was said that while because this brings me into the next topic. Well, Kate necessarily her quantum, because I remember somebody asked this question. Her quantum isn't really a new
Oh yeah,
build,
yeah.
but but we are going to be getting more in the future, and I'm curious as to exactly what we're going to get because I remember for the longest, Cosmic wasn't there when the game first got here. Like everybody was looking for Cosmic gear, nobody could find it. Like what ideas, like what else do you guys think that they could possibly add in as a demo?
Um, I don't know. Like, what else could go past Cosmic though? Like, I don't. That's the thing.
Yeah, I don't know if there is much else.
For me personally, when it comes to the whole mystical side, I'm thinking more so. I'm thinking of kind of like what, like for Doctor Strange. I don't know why, but this is more so like Ghost Rider related.
Mhm.
I'm thinking of a kind of like Hellfire type of like a Hellfire
Oh
demo.
yeah, so yeah, because
But
Okay.
yeah, that would be too close to Plasma. But at the same time, it would be like it'd just be like what a mix between Plasma and Cosmic. I think I'm not sure.
yeah, yeah, that's true when you think. Oh, like well, no, I was gonna say Nova, but I guess you consider Nova as Cosmic.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I will say, well, I know we're gonna get one. Well, if we do get like somebody like Scarlet Witch, for example, uh, what I want to say hex damage.
They might try to do like some kind of more vibranium gear or something
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
That would be dope. That'd be dope, and maybe some effects that to
That would be wonderful for me because then I could finally fix the defense of my Iron Man because he's a very strong glass cannon.
oh yeah, facts. I mean, it really depends though, because say for like the elements on like the Infinity Gauntlet. Like I know it's Chaos, the Time Stone. Like just like they could do probably like pull some elements from that. I think.
Yeah, space, power, time, mind, sword, and reality.
yeah. I
Actually,
mean, they could.
reality would be that would be related to Scarlet Witch. Actually, yeah,
That would.
chaos magic would be related to Scarlet Witch.
I think that would work. The only worry for me if they decide to go that route is I just don't want I honestly, as much as I love the movies and Black Order, just don't pull Thanos
Oh
into
yeah,
this game.
no,
Like
yeah, hell no. I
just
don't know.
just don't do that.
Yeah.
Save him
like
for like year 4. Don't bring him in no time soon, because like, bro, in comics, cartoons, movies,
he's
like
just
everything has just been full of him. Like we don't like we already got our just due of him. We don't need him no more right now. Give us somebody else like Doctor Doom.
yeah, like there's and I know for like more typical like non-comic book fans, just kind of general MCU fans, like they're like, "Yo, Thanos is one of the dopest villains I've ever seen." I'm like, there's a whole new world out there in them comics. I'm gonna tell you that
He
right
not much know
now.
about Kane the Conqueror.
Like,
Right.
and that right there is something like originally when I was kind of doing like discussions about the game, I was like, I wonder if King the Conqueror would be the main villain of the game. Obviously, that didn't happen. We got MODOK, and I think even though he is not as big, I think he was great for this game and what the story was for it. Because at that point, we can just add on like, hey, there's bigger people than him, and just kind of going up that ladder. Like we're saying, like make Thanos a year 3 or 4, kind of the last one. If we want to do that route, I'm fine with it because it's been years. Not like because I'm pretty sure we got Endgame in that Marvel Ultimate Alliance in the same year,
Mm-hmm.
so it was Thanos and Thanos back to back, and I'm just
I
like, bro,
know,
this is
and
too much.
Yeah,
Too much.
Not to mention the cartoons, because the cartoons that were following them, that were following the movie. Then you had that Fortnite tie-in.
Yeah.
Thanos, and then when he finally got in the pop culture references, Thanos was everywhere. You literally couldn't get away from him.
Yeah, he was all over the place, and even games like Marvel versus Capcom Infinite.
Yeah, he was the main.
Like,
I was like, man, I was like,
he is everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
I
So
know, man. It's like they could have used so many other ones. I think Doctor Doom was one of the most underrated villains that doesn't really get utilized to the fullest like he needs to, because I
know.
guess the reputation of the films, you
and
know.
I would think, taking Doctor Doom, let's say they do put him in Marvel Avengers. I mean, introducing the Fantastic Four in a game like this, like we see with Kamala Khan, that stretching and growing is not an issue. So Mr. Fantastic is pretty much handled. So
Right.
I think it's feasible if they want to bring in, more characters just outside the standard Avengers, which it looks like, hopefully that's what they're doing. We have some really good options, and it would change up the gameplay quite a bit too. So
The only thing is with Doom is that because when you have somebody like him, you gotta remember, for everybody that knows about Doom, he first started off primarily as a villain of the Fantastic Four, but over time, the man knows magic. He's more intelligent than Tony, but Reed is still a bit smarter than him. Like I said, he has his hands in magic and cosmic powers and whatnot. He's evolved to the point as to where is whenever he steps onto the scene, it's an issue for anybody that's already there, and not just the Fantastic Four. So he's evolved into, I want to say like an S tier villain.
True.
yeah,
Oh, definitely. It's like Doctor Doom is one of those characters that just loves to acquire anything. It doesn't matter if it's so beyond his reach. It's like he's literally taking the Beyonder's powers. I think he's taken Galactus's powers, or became more powerful than Galactus.
Yep.
So that's a character that you can play around with and do so many different things with. You know what I'm saying? Because he's such a unique and dynamic villain.
Yep. And I think. Oh, what did you say?
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think on top of that, if they were to throw a character like this in the game, you have Latveria that we could expand on. His castle we could expand on as a whole different area of the game to look at too. It's just open season of opportunities that if they put this character in, that we could just explore.
For example, so has anyone here played Ultimate Alliance 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys remember the first mission, right? How Fury led a strike team for a secret raid on Latveria. They could easily give us a raid for that. That requires us breaking in to find Doom.
That could work. And I think, I ain't gonna lie, I think not a lot of people notice when it goes to Doctor Doom. He is really, really underrated and strong, because in the comics, I think this is when Doom was, I think he had the power of cosmic. This man, Thanos had the Infinity Gauntlet and everything. This man went up to Doctor Doom and tried to, confront him. He thought he was weak and all. This man, Doctor Doom, pulled his skull out his whole body and killed him in an instant. And I don't think a lot of people know that.
No, man, it's like Doctor Doom's intellect knows no bounds, bro. It's like you can't stop a guy with an intellect who's power hungry like that.
Yeah.
So seeing Doctor Doom wouldn't be bad. I ain't gonna lie, when you really think about it. So.
And then you have other major villains that can step in. For example, the Mandarin of Shing Fang Fung. That would be a good duo to see. Everybody wants to see Ultron. I would imagine that we could maybe see Graviton, considering that he has been a major. A lot of people don't know who he is, but he's been a major thing in the Avengers side for multiple times, and on more than one occasion, has pretty much ended up killing all of them.
Jumping on Ultron, and I know, personally, after rewatching it a couple times, a lot of people do not like Age of Ultron. Just truth be told, it is probably the weakest out of the Avengers movies.
Sure.
But after I've watched a couple times, I've grown to like it. I think the storyline for Ultron wasn't the best, but the amount of Easter eggs that Age of Ultron had for the MCU was incredible. They had so many Easter eggs that kind of fell through for Infinity War Endgame and additionally. But I think Ultron would be another great character to introduce because that could tie into a storyline between Tony and kind of showing more of his character too. And I think that'd be just nice to bring it back in at some point to the main cast, of our main Avengers, and having the additional other Avengers help out and face against Ultron. I think that'd be really cool too. And plus, you can introduce a brand new enemy type with Ultron bots or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I probably want to wait because it seems like that's what everybody's been getting tired of, just like robot enemies.
True.
They want to fight some other type. Like I'll probably take it to Asgard and have frost giants or some kind of otherworldly creatures.
Oh yeah, sure.
They can fight.
Ultimate Alliance did that very well. Multiple enemy types. You had fire demons, you had doom bots, you had variants. So Ultimate Alliance did that wonderfully. If they can take that aspect, which I believe they're trying to do, and put it into the game, I believe that'll give everyone.
Oh, for sure.
And like Lejeune was saying, let's take Asgard. That's a huge concept right there. You can introduce more of Thor's lineage and his people as guardians and everything of that nature. But I'm gonna say and I know they're usually really good at making open world games, but if the Assassin's Creed can do this, I'm pretty sure we can get a decently scaled version of this within Marvel's Avengers.
Oh yeah.
With those different enemy types like the Frost Giant.
Sure, we can probably meet Hela. And shout outs to what was that Team Ninja, man, because they made one of the finest versions of Hela I've ever seen. Y'all seen that Ultimate Alliance 3 Hela?
Yes.
Man, he was thick. Man, they made Hela dumb thick in that game, bro. They made me want to just go down the hill and just live there for an eternity, just like to be around her.
Thanks.
For real, if they bring Hela up in this game, man, they got to compete with Team Ninja.
Hey, she was fine in the movie too. She was fine. She was fine in Ragnarok.
Oh yeah. It's like they took that version and just amplified it up in there. Let's just go ahead and make everything at the bottom and the lower half just super thick.
I think wasn't it in the Thor it was in the Thor comics as well when he was in hell. We had to give he had to give her a son for him to return back to Earth.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can see it. I promise.
So, another topic that we have here. So, exactly what are you guys expecting coming from Kate, Hawkeye, and the Cloner Labs? Because, as it was said, while Miller was streaming the other day, we were talking about the Cloner Labs. There was another streamer known as FM3 who got into the first part of Cloner Labs. He had made it onto the bridge, and there was a structure below it, I believe, where there was a kind of puzzle sequence. Now, I went back and watched the video myself to see if what Miller was saying was matching up. He had no idea what the fuck he was doing.
Oh yeah, it just randomly popped up for him.
There were clues everywhere, but he wasn't really necessarily.
Oh, looking. He wasn't looking for it.
He wasn't paying attention to it, and there's supposed to be multiple puzzles within the Cloner Labs, but the first one, the one that we saw him come across was a kind of DNA seekers thing where you have pressure plates, and the way that it worked was that you have a set number of times within a loop that you can complete the step after messing it up. But once you hit the set number, if you fail too many times, you get a hard reset and you have to do it again from the start.
I like that. I like stuff like that.
Yeah, that's dope.
Because it could be real easy sometimes. Say for instance, when Destiny, when they release their raid sometimes. I like the puzzles that come with it, and you have to really work as a team to get through it, because some games don't execute it as well, and unfortunately they do get it right when they learn from the mistakes. But I feel like having that in Avengers makes it a way better experience, because you could blindly go into a mission and just do whatever. and do whatever you just like. You can just easily just complete the mission. But if you got some puzzles in there, it's gonna make you think, and I guess it's say it brightens up the experience for it. So I'm glad that they added puzzles in it, and it seems that like they gonna try to make it challenging. So I'm excited for stuff like that. I like stuff like that.
Sorry for my outburst, everybody. I had my
Let me see.
notifications on, and I have a little Uzi sound clip on my notifications, so it just popped up in my ear like extremely loud.
You're good.
I thought it was turned off, but but no. So another thing, like, well, big piggybacking on what June was saying, it's all like, well, those are always fun. Me personally, I like it more so when the puzzles are included heavily in the fight somehow. Like for example, has anybody ever played DC Universe?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The boss. Well, no, the raid mission against Necron, Necron, the leader of the Black Lanterns, where you have you have to do all of this stuff mid fight, and like in order to be able to weaken him because he can't be touched while that's still up. Like you have to go and collect rings of light. You have to save other people while the fight is still going on and try not to die. And before that, you have to deal with possessed versions of people like Superboy and Stargirl and all of that before you can even get to Necron himself. And Necron himself is already a pain to fight. And so stuff like that, I pretty much like. Also, not to mention that the way that Conan Labs and some of this feature content is supposed to work, the difficulty is going to depend on how well you perform. So essentially, the outcome of the mission is going to tie into how well you completed the previous step.
Okay, so basically, like, it's gonna be like we're gonna basically get like a harder boss at the end.
Think like a Telltale game. Whatever you do in the objective beforehand is going to have an impact on what comes next for you.
Okay. So basically, if you do trash, you probably go get just a trash boss. Maybe you go have like a trash experience.
And if you do well, it's gonna be challenging, and you're probably gonna get some decent gear if you can knock it out the park.
Yeah, okay. I like that. I like stuff like that.
Yeah, but guys, I hate to cut things short, but I gotta go ahead and bow out of this one.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
He did have the death early.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just glad he came through. I'm just glad he came through in general.
Yeah, man, I had to, man. I owed it to you guys, man, because y'all have been holding it down. Like, even when I haven't really been doing anything in regards to Marvel's Avengers and the content has been scarce on my channel, you guys have been holding it down. So I think I owe it to you guys, and I owe it to the rest of the community who've been wanting me to talk more about it, the current condition of it. So I appreciate you all for just letting me come in and just chime and say what I had to say about it.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Definitely.
Yeah, we all support each other. We not out here calling people clowns like some people. we not out. We all here for one another.
Yep. But all right, man. I'll see you guys later. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, man.
All right, peace.
So June here, who is pretty much, I want to say, our golden boy for the Avengers community. If there was anything, let's say, for example, that you could add, no matter what it was, what would you like to see be implemented into the game that you think would pretty much help it out in the long? Like, what do you think it needs, or what do you want?
I think it needs a recalibration station. It needs it, and that's what I would want as well. Of course, like I can add like multiple things, like 2 things. I want to add something else in there as well. I want to add it where the difficulty matters. I did. I don't do this for games at all, but like I legit typed out a little document on things that can improve on, and it got to them. They are reviewing what I sent, so that's pretty cool. And that was one of the things. We need a recalibration station, and difficulty needs to matter because everyone can play. If you're like an elitist and you want to play like on brutal, you don't really get rewarded for it. To be honest, like you really don't get rewarded for it. Like someone can just complete, like for instance, like the like a elite hive on regular and still get the same loot as me. When if I'm playing on just the hardest difficulty, I should get like rewarded with like probably like an exotic at the end. I get like a higher chance at an exotic with better stats or something like that. And I feel like that's one of the things that need to be at. That's like, to be honest, it's like games as a service 101. To be honest, harder difficulty, better loot. So I feel like there's some that needs to be added. And as I said, a recalibration station wouldn't be bad. So I think that's the things I would want to be added. To be honest.
Yes, Peter, a reroll system would be lovely. A reroll system would be very much appreciated.
Very much needed at this point. For just sometimes you don't get what you want, so it'd be nice to try it again for better odds.
Facts.
You know how long it took me to find a heroic piece for Iron Man that was actually good and it wasn't blue.
Like even like now, like I'm still like finding things that's better for my Hulk build, and like I think I got what I want. Like even though I'm still missing some things I could still get, I'm pretty perfect with what I want right now, but I could still even make my build better. It's just the fact that it takes a long time. Even though I'm like it's be like 2 months, 2 or 3 months in the game, I think, if I'm correct. And I'm still trying to perfect out my Hulk build. So
Yeah, like our
third one. And for me, I think that's gonna definitely play a part. Is if they do implement those, that'll help players stick on top of the game, because what happens when we're facing enemies 2 or 3 years down the road. Like how much harder are they, and how much more do I need to stack up my gear to face against these certain type of enemy types or this certain boss? So like like you're saying, like someone who plays on brutal versus playing on just normal, saying they shouldn't get the same reward chances. It should heavily be increased.
yes.
For them for sure. I mean, besides that, I mean, if it was me, I kind of just at this point just want more content. I'm saying as much more as we can.
For
Like
sure.
I feel like once the DLC gets rolling, I think that's when I can say, cool. Now I have someone new to play with. That's new combos to explore. Like the crazy thing is when I'm watching the Kate Bishop, I totally spaced unless I just didn't see this. Is I didn't know she had a sword too. I thought she was just 100% bow.
Oh no.
So I kind of was like, am I tripping? Did I miss this? So I was like, so it threw me off, and I'm like, well, that's a whole nother set of combos I'm trying to learn. Like, I just thought I was just coming here, do the Robin Hood thing, and dip. Now I have sword to, kind of figure out, and teleporting, and I'm like, this adds a layer of depth. And I know when they add in like getting Black Panther, Spider-Man, and all those other characters, I think it's just going to add a lot more. And I'm hoping they get the DLC characters rolling in, because like as much as I love playing as the main cast, like I know once they just release Kate Bishop, if you're playing with a squad, I don't want to be fighting with a homie over one character. This is not what I'm trying to do. So,
Right.
once the DLC can start coming out, but I ain't gonna hold you. Once Black Panther come out, I'm probably gonna rock just single player for a hot minute, because I'm really not trying to share that. Like if we play online, I'm already trying to claim it. So,
Thanks.
Cause like no one's gonna want to not play as Black Panther once he drops.
It's,
it's
everybody gonna be on. Everybody gonna be on.
Like everybody. It's same thing with Spider-Man when he dropped. Who's not gonna want to use Spider-Man? Come on. It's just kind of crazy. Unless you just build it, like you just started playing the game, you're like, well, I got all these characters to choose from. But
somebody might get DDoSed over Spider-Man.
But it's just, yeah, I think a couple little tweaks to the game. And what I can say this, and one thing I heavily appreciate is Crystal Dynamics is probably one of the developers as far as like game coverages I've done that really looks at the community, really tries to stay in tune with them, and like really looks at their audience like, hey, what do you guys look for? Awesome. Let's get this implemented. 2 or 3 patch later, hey guys, we fixed that you guys were talking about. It's almost baffling, because like I've covered other games in the past, and like I covered Naruto Storm 4 for a while, for like a hot minute, and we didn't get any updates for that game until a year and a half after.
Dang.
Everyone's clapping, hurrah! I'm like, bro, what y'all clapping for? We getting updates a year and a half after. I'm done playing this game. I'm done. Yeah. There's no reason for me to be happy. So Marvel Avengers is like, oh, y'all want this fixed? And then they start working with the team 2 or 3 patch later, maybe even quicker, depending on kind of what the issue is. It's already a patch out to fix that issue. So it's just that's one thing I could definitely like, hats off to them for jumping on those updates and then bringing us things that we want. Like I remember when the game first came out, Captain America was an awesome character to play with, but he couldn't smash or hack anything. I was like, bro, I like you for combos, but you pretty much trash besides that. I can't do nothing with you. I can't break a door. I can't hack nothing. And then we get a couple patches later. Now he can finally smash doors as he's meant to do. So at least I like the fact that they're taking proper feedback
True.
in the best way possible. So that's pretty awesome.
No loss. Since we are talking about feedback, we should talk about like just the general concept of just people not giving the like correct type of feedback to the devs in general when it comes to the game.
Yeah, all right, let's get toxic.
Oh, yeah, we get a little toxic. We get a little toxic. We get a little toxic. Just a little something.
I got my water and my Chinese food.
But like the thing what I've been seeing lately, like just people they have things, they have concerns, but they don't give constructive criticism. And when they try to give stuff, it's like they just like throw a little bash in when they're doing it. And like I understand your frustration, like I really do. But that's not like the way you should go with it. And I 100% know they see everything, bro. I promise you they probably do.
Oh, they do.
And as a person, I guess I ain't really tripping no more since I don't work for them no more. But as a person that did work in the game industry, I worked at EA for like a QA tester on Apex Legends. So I know how it is to like really people just like trashing on like say like a character coming out or something, and I tested on the character like just giving our bugs and stuff for it. I'm like, dang, that's tough. And the thing is, we really do like that's I guess you could get like a little insider. We used to watch people videos like just to like find bugs or find things that they really like and that's interesting to them, and they implemented like stuff like that into the game, and that's one of the reasons that they find bugs and all that. So I feel like that Iron Man bug is gonna get glitched with his spamming rockets, so that's 100% gonna happen. But they do watch stuff, and as the experience with me doing, they do watch videos. So I don't know. I just feel like people can somewhat be harsh to an extent, and people had it out for this game since the beginning, so like it was expected. But like the things they be doing, like saying that the devs trash, like somebody else should develop this game, yada yada yada. I'm like, bruh, like, do you gotta like know, like, are you human? That's kind of hurtful. That's like saying somebody telling you that you're ugly, if you care about it. But that stuff can hurt, and they humans as well. That stuff kind of it hurts. And I think that's what people don't think about. Some people really just don't think about it in that demographic because they say, oh, I don't really gotta worry about it. They developed in the game. Why I gotta, like worry about them? I'm like, that's an interesting way how to think about things, bro. I ain't gonna lie. That's very interesting.
Yeah, like
in on that.
Very interesting.
Because the one thing that annoys me the most, right? Because like June because I've actually talked about this before with him in private. You have people who are constantly doing reviews on the game, but it's not necessarily in good faith, and a lot of it is just pretty much just straight trashing. You have one person, for example. June knows exactly who I'm fucking talking about. You go out of your way to say that Crystal Dynamics screwed up. They don't deserve your time. They don't deserve your money. This would have been better as a single player game. And pretty much is everything got the ash. Yet, when they decide to do a developer stream, I see you in the comments going, hey guys, it's me. How you guys been? Have you guys received my list of suggestions for the game and this and that and everything else? While also trying to match up to play with them. So it's like, how can you sit here and act this way towards them and act like you really mean it, act like you hate them for giving us this product that you feel like you force yourself to play and then go out of your way to be buddy buddy with them when you see that they're connecting with the community again. That bugs me. That bugs me to my core. If you're gonna hate the game, stick to it. Don't swap sides just so you can
Yeah,
get a bunch of developers.
don't flip flop. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think it's true, right? And you know, as all three of us, like we cover the game. We saw people in the comments. Why you covering this trash? This game's gonna
Oh
suck. This
yeah.
game gonna flop. This is going
I don't
that.
read comments no more. I get annoyed. I get
Yeah,
pissed.
it's like
On Twitter. I don't read comments no more.
it's like, bro, let me enjoy it. Let me just enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that there is some people, you know, had covered the game, and just people in general like, oh, this game isn't as bad as I thought it was. Of course it was. You never gave it a chance. It's from the rip. You saw Marvel Avengers, boom, okay. Oh, this ain't MCU people. Garbage.
Facts.
And just got mad. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you didn't even give it a chance. And again, they took that feedback. They fixed character models. They fixed hair. They fixed graphic issues. They take a lot of that feedback and they made it in the best perception. So that way it kind of hits everybody's notes, but not going off of their path of what they wanted for the story, the look, the feel, and everything like that. But it's like Lidju said, they had it out for the game since the beginning. As soon as we got that first trailer showing, you know, gameplay clips, story clips, people were over it. They're like, nah, this game is not going to do well. I am hell bent on making sure this game is trashed. It is just that same thing throughout most of the journey of Marvel Avengers. And I see that it's converted a lot of fans, but a lot of people came in just kind of dissing the game off rip when it's just like, come on, man. Again, like, you know, you want Insomniac to make this game, but it's not Insomniac can't make every single Marvel game. They can't do it. It's not a thing.
Facts.
And my
Like,
thing is, you have people who will sit here consistently and say this Avengers game was trash. We needed a Guardians of the Galaxy. We needed an X-Men. We needed Inhumans. If you didn't like this game and the way it was done, and for you to say that you want them to do the same thing just with a different team, that's going against your entire statement. Because then you're going to be trashing that game as well.
100%. And then now you're even more mad because they use a character that you want even more in the game. Like I saw some people like they should have done X-Men instead. And I'm like, well, then if you didn't like this game and they did it this way, and if they would have put Wolverine in the game and he wasn't to your standards, you would have lost your mind. Would have absolutely lost it on Twitter. Bing, I hate this game. Tagging Crystal Dynamics, tagging Square Enix, and all this other stuff. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna sit up and say like the game didn't have its faults. Like it did.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna sit up and just lie and say it didn't. Like even though some people think I just like defended 24/7, but I can say it to this day, the game was not ready when it came out. Like it wasn't. I said it multiple times, but people I just feel like they just think I'm just like the ultimate fanboy for. I'm like, nah, bro. Like I know what happened with this game and how it came out. It's not at the perfect state right now, but you know, at the end of the day, you know, I'm just a fanboy. You know, I just agree with I just agree with what everybody say. I mean, what everything say.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people notice that. It's like, as much as we cover these games, we talk about it, like we're still looking at it as a content creator, like, hey, this game isn't perfect, but it's not as bad as y'all making it seem. Y'all just make it seem this is the worst game on the planet. Now we're looking at every perspective. How's the online? How's the story driven portion? How's the the microtransaction? We're taking every element to say, okay, who collectively this game is solid. It's a really good game. But there's things that still needs to be fixed, and even myself, I can say that like there's still portions of this game that needs to be done, fixed, polished up.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's not a bad game. Like I don't know another developer, I don't know another game that is going to be dropping. Let's just say they drop 10 characters that are going to be DLC. I don't know any other company that's dropping free characters. If they were $10 a pop, and 10 characters, 10 DLC, that's $100 that I don't have to spend.
Yeah.
Like no one else is competing with something like that. Like that alone made me like, I'm copping this game just for that. Like you not only are you bringing me a great game with comic characters that I like, but you're making me not spend money for the extra characters.
Oh, that's a
Are
dub.
you serious? Like that's the exact that's a whole dub. Like right there, I'm set. I'm happy. You give me a great experience with a great game, and now I can buy other games if I want to on top of that, just because you saved me all this money.
Yeah.
Like it's just yeah. Again, people just had they looked at this game, that trailer dropped, and they're like, "Yo, I'm bashing it."
True.
Case closed.
And they're gonna be the same people that's going to be trying to hop on and test out these new characters when they get here. For example, June. I don't know if you know, but I hope you ready for December 8th because I know you going stream.
Oh, yeah.
And I know I'm gonna have to be in there moderating your chat because everybody that's gonna be trying to play with you is gonna be trying to snatch cake. And
Oh,
somebody gonna get mad.
I'm gonna be salty.
I already know it, man.
come to my stream and expect me not to use the character.
What? And I don't know. I just feel like, honestly, I really feel like this game will make a comeback. To be honest, like it's like a high chance because one, it's the Marvel IP. Like the Marvel IP itself is just a strong brand overall. Yeah. And you know, of course, the combat in this game is good. Like there's nothing wrong with the combat in this game. It's really good. And I feel like that's the one thing, like I think that's probably one of the most, like the hardest thing to like catch on first, especially when you do them with 6 characters. If you got the combat and it feels good with all of them, and you have like a, you know, like just a straight, you know, idea what you want to do with the game overall when it comes to like content and all that. And if it's like engaging and all that, you really have something going on. So it just really depends, to be honest, because even say for example, say when, you know, of course I feel like, you know, K Bishop not gonna make as much noise, you know, as people anticipated to be, you know, when it comes to the game.
Not as much as Black Panther.
But
Black Panther is
like Black Panther gonna make some noise.
Yeah, he about to make people straight up, you know, buy up the game and just start streaming everywhere.
Yeah, it's like, because honestly, I'm really not worried about the combat, to be honest, because they already proved that they can do combat in this game. How you gonna make 6 characters in a game and make them so different and so, you know, just well executed that it's fun to play them no matter what. You could just really just catch on to. So
yeah, exactly. Like, you know, and of course we know we had, you know, people from different teams jumping in, but like playing as Thor, like, and playing as Cap, like these are characters with the combat, the abilities. These 6 characters can have 6 individual games with their combat style.
Nice.
Easily. Like easily. I'm playing 6 games in one at this point. I'm playing with so many like there's games that I played that don't even have this many options to switch it up, add different attributes. If I don't want to throw the shield this way, I can throw it this way. Like there's not games that are just letting me do that. That you're giving me full-fledged characters that can have full-fledged games all in one game. On top of that, DLC that's coming out to follow up after. Come on, man. It's hard to beat.
Facts. And I really don't see no gaming company really do that, to be honest, because, you know, they go, if it was like another company doing this same model of the game, like they would probably end up charging for, like, you know, like a carrot or probably like just the DLC overall. You know, like not like bashing Destiny or nothing, but like something like that. Like, because for Destiny we got to pay for the DLC. It come with new expansions and new powers and all that. But just if it was like that for Avengers, oh, it would be good. It would be getting hell right now if it was like that.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, like yeah, it would, and I would understand.
Oh,
think about the hell Destiny got.
Huh?
Destiny got hell for that off rip, especially when like some of these expansions were getting pushed back and everything. That pretty much would have killed the Avengers.
Yeah, like, it probably would have.
It would have killed it. It would have killed the Avengers.
Yeah, people would have lost their mind. They would have absolutely been livid if that were to happen. But again, like, no one else is doing it like them. And that's people are they're skipping over that part. You can see they realize no one ever brings up that portion of it. They're like, yeah, this game is trash. But what about the full-fledged characters, DLC we ain't paying for? Yeah, but this game's still trash. Like, come on, man.
They just try
They
to
just
just skip over it. Yeah, I feel it. I feel it.
So it's like, come on, man. You at this point you're going out of your way to just be mad. You're really just going out of your way to be mad about this game for absolutely no reason. So I'm always personally I'm always excited. You know what I'm saying? Again, when I look at this game and look what it has to offer, like I'm always excited, especially when this DLC is coming out. Like you're giving me even more characters, more storylines to play with. And if each character, even if it's a small one, gets a storyline, it's almost like you playing a new game, a small little mini game. Like I'm beyond excited about it. I think they should just carry this out through, keep bringing this momentum, and then again, like we were talking about earlier, just introduce like some small little tweaks. And honestly, like I can see the game really picking back up because I know everyone's been really going off of the PC player base going down and really exploiting that. It's just irritating.
I wanted to bring. I'm gonna let you finish, but I do want to talk about that as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like, come on, man. Y'all just picking off this one thing, bro. Like, PlayStation, Xbox still doing good. And granted, the PC base was never big to begin with Marvel Avengers. Let's not even cap that. And people was like, oh, y'all losing on your fan base. No, bro, that's PC first and foremost.
Yeah.
Okay, that ain't all of us. Y'all just saw that 96% was like, oh, the game's trash. You just know your fan base. Come on, man. That's not the case.
I had multiple people, because matter of fact, I had random like RBG DM'd me a couple of days ago and asked me, was that you? And it's just like those are Steam stats and Steam stats only. And then it was funny when you see just how many blogs and everything ran with that narrative without checking it. No, that is just PC and PC only. Like, we're still out here, we're still streaming, making content on. Like, this game has not lost that much of its play. If the game had lost that much of its player base, you would have definitely heard something about it. You would have definitely heard something about it beforehand.
Yeah, that's the thing. They just saw that number, saw Marvel Avengers name was on it, and started just. I'm like, come on. And I wanted to do a follow-up video, and I know June did one, and I wanted to. But then I also knew that it might turn just to a rant video, so I decided not to. I was like, I don't even want to rip off on anybody.
Cause I just like see like it's so obvious like they try to you try to spin the narrative with it, cause like it's like you just not being 100. Like that's the thing. Like I'll be 100. The game is not the game on PC side. Hell, like everybody and their mom know is dead. Like legit, everybody knows this, bro. But of course, I think the main reason why people just don't bring up consoles overall because we can't get the console stats. But
not accurate anyway.
Like they pushed it heavily on console, and it had a lot of players on the console. So to say it's dead, when I see the videos and the articles and all that, they mainly are talking about the PC side. And I'm not saying that they're not losing players on Xbox and PlayStation. I'm not, but when they spend that article or just talk about it, they mainly are talking about PC and they don't put it in the article because it's basically like YouTube. It just don't get clicks if you put it if you don't put it. So I mean, I understand.
You just gotta be vague about it. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
You're trying to get their click on. I mean, I can't necessarily hate for that, but at the same time, they should definitely have and just let you know this is for PC specifically, not what I'm saying. Drop at least some little gem, but for the general person looking at it, oh, this game is dying.
Yeah, if I would have saw that, and I didn't even know about this game, damn, that's tough. That's not a good. That's 96. That's a lot.
Yeah. That's a normal reaction. If you didn't know,
I don't know. They just people just bugging on that, trying to bank on the people who want to rip the game. Is that's their solo thing. Oh, y'all lost. Come on, man. You ain't pulling all the facts. You just saw one thing, and then you're like, all right, cool.
out. All of that is gonna be out the window though once this game gets to relaunch. Because you know what, this is what I feel like we need. I feel like we need a relaunch. We need more stuff to help the game out more. In terms of people that are still covering the game and are trying to keep it alive. Okay, look, how about look, let me say this. Now, this is the question for both of you. In your opinion, out of everyone that you know that has been covering the game, if you were asked, who would you guys consider as the faces, or like, let's say, the main content creators for the like the faces of content creators for this game? Like, who would you say deserves an actual title of content creator for Avengers, and like that's actually truthful and doesn't backpedal and do dumb shit or say shit. Say it.
I think what's the homie name? Tricks Ridiculous. What else? Phantom. I know Phoenix. I think it's Phoenix Phantom. Phantom. Who else?
Tony.
Oh yeah, Tony. Yeah, Tony. Oh, they cool dude, bro. He cool dude. He's chill. Who else? I'm trying to think. I mean, it's probably more. I just can't really think. But I got named some on top of my head I can think of. Phantom, Tricks, Tony.
I mean, well, there are more, but at the same time, of like, it's pretty much just like centered between people who do content on the game in general, and then people who just upload build videos and then go about their day. Like there's a difference between those two.
To be honest, I don't really know, cause I ain't gonna lie. Most of the I'll be seeing, they be popping up on my recommended from some of the people.
You said what?
I said, to be honest, they mainly be popping up on my recommended, and I watch a few of them, but like I don't remember their names. I'll be honest.
Because I remember it was this one dude that I found, but the reason why I stopped watching him was because his views on the game was kind of skewed. Right? His views on the game was like, Mega Rock Gaming, thank you for that sub, bro. It was kind of like, I get what he was saying, but it sounded like it was coming from like a more hateful place than anything. So it was like, I just X'd it out and went about my day.
Yeah, like, cause I'm not gonna sit up here and just watch a whole like a negative video. Like, I don't know, that's just not my vibe. You know, I can't sit up there just watch a negative video the whole time. Like, man, I could be doing something better with my day.
There's always content to make, so don't watch stuff like that, man.
So I just be chilling. I don't know. Of course, I see the videos pop up about like, you know, like the negative things about the game and all that, but I'm not gonna sit up there and watch it.
No.
Ain't no point. I already know what they gonna say, so you know, and you know, feel like it's no point.
Yeah, it's the same old. At that point, all it's gonna do is frustrate me. So at that point, I'm like, all right, bro, let me just turn this off or I say something in the comments.
Yeah, I mean, even that, like, I just be like, if I would like record a video, just like a rant or something, I'd be like, man, I could talk about this, but like, nah, it's gonna start off some unnecessary drama, and I'm not with all that. So I'm just chill about it. Ain't no point of just starting no drama for no reason. I'm not really with that.
Yeah.
And also to everybody in chat, make sure to go ahead and follow Jalil and June on both of their YouTube channels, and make sure to drop a sub on June's channel as well, because if he gets what is it, 200? Is number 200?
I don't think no 500. I think I don't just hit 9.5 just a few, like yesterday, I think.
Well, he only has a little bit longer to go because if he gets enough subs before Kate gets here, he's going to attempt a 12-hour
Oh
stream.
no, I got that already. I got that. I got that.
Are you doing a
Yeah,
12-hour stream?
yeah.
Look at that. I did one of those on my other channel, and Jesus.
Hey, Jaleel, do a 12-hour stream. Do one for Avengers.
It really like to be
no
honest,
ball lot.
It's on a Tuesday too.
like bro, like that stuff is really hard though. Like,
Dude, here's the thing. When I did mine for my other channel, the only reason I was able to get through is I have a Discord server for my other channel too. So I had, people was joining, they were popping in, I was talking to them. So that was entertaining me through. The tough part for me is when I did my 12-hour stream, I worked that same day. So I slept, I think I slept like 3 or 4 the day before. Then I woke up, 11, went to work at 1, did the 1 to 9 shift. I between 9 and 10, I'm setting up the stream, eating my my Korean food real quick, get 2 bites of that joint, and then I stream from 10 to 12 the next day. So I'm like, or like 12 p.m. the next day. And I felt like, all right, bro, I'm done. And like my body was like, if someone watches it, it gets to a point where like, oh, Jaleel's lost it. He's finally cracked. He's done. Like people were coming in and like there's just no filter. They were coming in just hey, infamous. I'm like, all right, man, you absolutely bugging and you too much. I'm muting you. Like I was just done. And I could not take too much. But I mean, 12-hour streams are nothing to scoff at. I commend people who I've seen do 24-hour streams. You're absolutely out of your mind. That's power to you. That's damn near possible.
I think the most that I've done is 16. I still want to do a 24 for Avengers. I'm going to do it. It's just the first time I couldn't because back when I was initially supposed to do it, the game I was 13 hours in and the game crashed 3 times.
Oh man.
I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just wait. So I don't know when it is I'm gonna do it again, but I am gonna do it. But yeah, but so far my longest time frame is 16.
yeah, like like it's hard doing it. Like like if you're doing like YouTube as well, like and streaming, it's hard. It's hard to mix in between them. Like especially since K Bishop is coming out that day.
Yeah.
So it's hard. Like it's hard to do it all at once.
Like and dude, like legit, I commend you, man, because like when this game first dropped, I mean, you didn't hit the ground running. You hit the ground sprinting. My man said, "I'm streaming every day on top of delivering video content." I'm like, yo, this man has gone crazy. I was like, I still got work.
Oh yeah, like I still had work. I still had work during it as well, bro. I was still doing work.
I was like, this man is killing it. You boom streaming. All right, I'm dropping 2 videos and I'm gonna stream again. I'm going to work. I'm wake back up, drop 2 videos, stream again. I'm like, yo, this man's energy must be just infinite because I don't know how he's doing this.
Oh yeah,
like I streamed like for like 3 hours. I'm like, whew, long day. Go to bed. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, yo, this man is on top of it. So I hella commend you on that. But I don't know how you did it, man. You were back-to-back stream, but you came absolutely, running, and that's paid off. With trying to upload on this channel, on my other channel, and working, and I stream a lot on my other channel mostly, is where most of my streaming time goes. It is hard to stream a lot and do video content at the same time. Like it takes a lot for me because you're like, all right, cool. I'm not gonna stream. Let me record, especially if you're recording videos in bulk, because like sometimes how my weeks are set up. Sometimes I have like 1 day off here, 1 day off here, so I spend that 1 day recording like 3 or 4 videos and then trying to like edit them out throughout the week. So it's super time consuming. It's killer. And especially like for me now this time of year, and I know I haven't been uploading too much on my infamous Digital gaming channels because I'm like, cool, let me hop on it. But then I'm like, oh snap, it's time to go to work. I work my shift, I come home. At that point, I'm tired from work. And after that, I you know what I'm saying, I just really want to Gordon Ramsay's Hell Kitchen and go to bed. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of done with the day. I'm kind of done with the day, but yeah, man, I hella commend you because bro, you just came out. I'm busting videos, bang, 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 streaming, bang, bang, bang. Yo, I was like, hell, he killing the game right now.
Oh yeah, that's stuff amazing.
I need to get back to how I was before the game came out because like I was pumping out videos like consistently, but like before drop, but it's like after drop I slowed down. I have no
Yeah.
idea why. I'm trying to get back into it though.
Yeah, same here. And I've been, and that's kind of how I'm doing. Like, I know my videos, I got a fat gap right now in my content because, we had got Marvel Avengers, a couple little just talks about DLC, and then obviously we got the PlayStation showcase. They showed that thing off. I got hype about a couple new titles that I wanted to cover on the channel. And it seems like right now my consistency is a little bit off, at least here because I want to keep covering Marvel Avengers and make sure I appeal to those fans, those subscribers, and everything too. But I also want to cover newer games
Oh
as
yeah.
well. Like as much as I love covering Marvel's Avengers, like I can't stay on something for too
Yeah.
long. Or I'm like, all right, I need something else. Especially if ain't nothing dropping. Like you like, what do I do now? I mean, you can stream, of course, but there's only so many more streams you want to do at the same thing. For like, I gotta switch it up.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
like when Gotham Knights come out, like yeah, I'm like Gotham Knights looks interesting to me. Like it look like
yeah.
it looks real interesting to me. So that's the big game that that's another game that piqued my interest that I'm upload when it finally comes out. So
Some
Yeah.
people, some people might hate me because of what I'm about to say, but Miles is going to be better. But to me, it's going to be better than Miles because of one major factor. The game can't be the game can't be beaten within a day.
True.
The game cannot be beaten within a day.
True.
Like on top of fighting, you actually have to go out, do detective work, go out in the city, get stuff,
Yeah.
do this, do that. It cannot be done in a day. I
And
still
plus, you got more than one character, man. You got that plethora, and that's if they don't add DLC in. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
there's tons of options. I know. Again, myself, I'm also really, 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 really excited about Gotham Knights. Don't hate me, but I'm a bigger DC fan than Marvel
oh yeah,
fan.
like DC got way
You know
better
what I'm saying?
comics. This is
Like
facts.
I'm a Nightwing's my favorite superhero of all time, and my boy he reigns supreme. Like no one's topping him. So like I'm definitely excited about that. And then of course on the other end, which a lot of people I guess has kind of caught them off, is I'm also excited about the Hogwarts Legacy. I'm a big
Oh
Harry
yeah.
Potter fan, so covering that game. In addition, that game looks immaculate. I've already known about the game for years, and
I
and
was upset finding out that it's not multiplayer. I was
it's
very
it
not
kind of bugs me,
Wait,
but
it's
I'm,
not
I'm kind of
multiplayer?
okay with it.
no,
At least not initially. I don't know if they'll roll it out later, but
yeah, but as of right now, it's only single
I thought
player.
it was an RPG. It looked like it was gonna be an RPG.
No,
it's
it's an RPG, but
yeah, but just single
player.
player.
Like
What?
think like The Witcher.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, I think some good things will still come out of it. And another reason I was actually really excited was it's their main studio, Avalanche Studios, is in my city. I can drive there. It's like 13 minutes away. Like it's stupid close. So I want to create those ties and really get close with that development team too and see what they have to offer. Because that's another big title that I'm looking forward to. And even on my PS5, I've followed. You can like follow certain games, so there's updates. Your PlayStation will get them like notifications. So I've been trying to stay on top of that as well. But I know my consistent. I've just been really inconsistent on my uploads too. So I'm gonna try to jump back on these. Hopefully I can hit 10K soon on this channel here. I'm really close to 10K on the other channel, so I've been grinding that one out and trying to get that channel there. But man, Marvel Avengers is something I want to continue covering, especially as the DLC rolls out. I want to play as Kate Bishop. I want to play as Black Panther, and et cetera, as these characters drop and expansions happen and updates happen as well. I want to make sure I'm on top of these too, because I'm still excited about the game. And I feel like if you are, man, like cover it, be on top of it. So I'm ready to see what else they kind of drop for us here soon.
I still don't even have a partner for Gotham Knights. I'm rocking solo dolo right now. I gotta find one.
I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see 100% if I want to like play with somebody or I want to do like certain missions with people and then play the other portions by myself.
Because
Cause
you can do
like
the entire thing. You can do the entire thing in co-op.
yeah, you can do the entire thing co-op. The crazy part is you can do the entire thing as just one character. That's bananas to me.
Yeah.
So like I know I'm gonna be very Nightwing heavy. So I mean like every other character is honestly up for grabs. Like a Nightwing is, I'll play the game how many other times. Nightwing will be max. He will be the main boy. Okay, that's my man. He's going to be number one. I'll probably rock out Red Hood after that because I'm a huge Red Hood fan. Not a fan of Jason Todd's Robin, but his Red Hood is his
Oh yeah, yeah,
unmatched.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he
it
wasn't
just
that. Yeah, he wasn't that. If we being honest, he wasn't that much of a good Robin.
no, no, no. And I like Tim Drake. I can't believe they gave him a teleport thing too. I'm like, y'all just giving everybody teleports out here. Hold up. Uh, and even Batgirl looks dope. I don't really know as much about Batgirl as the rest of the Bat family and compared to characters. The thing that most have ever used Batgirl period in a game franchise is Injustice One. That was a main. She was a main for me.
Yeah.
So, uh, you know what I'm saying? That's. But I'm ready to explore that game. And it's funny though because collectively in a sense, but not 100%. It's almost like the same skeleton, like Marvel Avengers, a group of characters you can play with. They'll be fleshed out most likely, just like every Marvel Avengers character will have, following a storyline. Obviously, it'll be a little bit different because it looks like it'll have a different option for how you want to lead the story, but it still has like those same skeletal parts of like this is how the game's gonna work and the options for you. So and a lot of people are they're head over heels for Gotham Knights versus Avengers. Like I hate this game.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see how that game works, what people will say.
Surprisingly, the Arkham, like I seen like the Arkham community, like I watched a few Arkham, some people that do upload like in that community for Batman. Some people did not like don't like the way direction they taking it, or like how
Yeah.
they don't like it. I'm like, oh, I'm surprised.
When you say direction, I assume you mean Barbara getting out of her
Oh
wig.
no, like it's like a more of like a RPG, not like no, like a art
Yeah.
like a RPG type.
I have seen that. I've seen people get upset, like completely upset. They're like, hey, this is an RPG game and not like just another Arkham game with a different perspective. Like people are upset about that for sure. Which I'm like, come on, man.
You gotta
Like
bring
you
something
can't
new
just
in.
Yeah, man, it's like eating the same cracker every day. You got, so you gotta have something a little different, put a little cheese on it or
Right.
something. Like you gotta have something different. So as much as we love these certain games, and I love Arkham, like Arkham Knight is easily still one of the most beautiful PS4 games I've ever seen, and it's still a great game to this day. But you want something different, need something different. I think that's a great way is bringing in a game that has RPG elements. The replay value is a lot different because then if you want to, you can play this game 4 times over and you can play as one specific character for the entire time.
Yep.
Or if I want to, my brother picks up a PS5 too. I can play the entire game as a straight brother co-op. Me rocking Nightwing, him rocking Robin. You know what I'm saying? There's options. There's tons of options when it comes down to it. So there's so many things kind of change, especially for superhero games. I think superhero games are stepping into a brand new light with games like Miles Morales, Gotham Knights coming out, Marvel Avengers. Like they're definitely stepping it up. So I think if you're still unsure about Marvel Avengers, man, hang in there. They're coming with the fire. They're dropping that content. They're dropping everything. I know again everything that's been happening in the world kind of slowed that down,
Oh
and I
yeah.
feel like some people still forget that this is really happening. Like this does affect every category of media. Like it just doesn't affect like your TV shows. It affects your games. It affects everything. So
Hey, Infamous, you could think you got one of your homies here in my chat, Nightwing.
Mega Rock. Yeah, you can be Robin. You the sidekick, son. Hold up. You the sidekick. Learn your spot. Learn your spot. Nightwing is definitely my character. I cannot wait to play as him. I'm just waiting for them to drop any inkling of news.
I know.
Anything.
They have been silent. I mean, they've
They
been posting like little stuff, but it's been silent.
It ain't been much. They've been tight lip. I need some like gameplay clip. I need something. I need something. I don't really care what it is at this point because they've already got me interested. Even with that 12 minutes of gameplay they showed, like
The gameplay for alpha footage that looked.
now imagine when
I
it's
don't get
fully
a
fleshed
PS5.
out.
If I don't have a PS5 when it's here, I'm gonna lose my shit. I'm not missing out on this game.
No, man, see that, man. I mean, that's the thing is when you see this game, I can only imagine like when it fully comes out, PS5, Xbox Series X got the ray tracing going on, and you know, and maybe even an option for the, you know, the performance with the 60 FPS. Like, oh my god, this game's about to look top tier. Because just with the weather effects by that one mission, I'm already like, yo, I'm riding the bat bike. I'm going in the city in the snow. I can pop off the bike when I want. Like, yeah, this is an instant cop. Besides it already being in the Batman franchise, and I can play as a character that's not Batman for
Oh
once.
yeah.
This is a cop. This is already a cop. Whatever special edition, I'm
Oh yeah, for
confident.
sure.
Now, granted, I had to unfortunately cancel my special edition for Marvel's Avengers because they're like, yo, you ain't getting this until the next morning, and I'm like, cause I'm a content creator. Like, you expect me to not play this at 12 o'clock? You out of your
Yeah.
mind? Like, I can't not just do that. So obviously, I had to cancel my pre-order, but it was worth it. But I want to get this, even if I don't end up covering it. Like, I still want to get the Ultimate Edition. I feel like they would have a pretty fire Ultimate Edition for this game too. So
Oh yeah, especially because this is all the Bat family. Oh yeah, I feel like it's gonna be something.
like a
A nice little statue
Batman,
or something.
exactly.
I say like well like 50% because you still got other people, for example, that aren't there, like Bluebird, Spoiler, Signal, Orphan,
Yeah.
the other bad girl, Stephanie. There's a couple
Oh,
people.
only person I really want, and I know this is kind of an obscure one because not many people know about him. I want the Signal. That's my boy. His fit,
Dude, yeah, dude.
Duke is yo. Hey, my man, dude, Duke Thomas, and it's so crazy because his suit is just it's dumb bright yellow, but I love it. It's a great contrast to the city and how Gotham is, and a very big contrast from Batman himself. So I need that man. I need Batwing in this game. You know, give us some of that, you know, African American representation.
sir.
You know what I'm saying? So I think we get those, and it'll be like really awesome.
It will be. Yeah.
Oh Tom. We gotta talk about this PS5. How hard it is to snag, bro. Like I could already call. I could just see it now. When Walmart drop it tomorrow, it's gonna crash. It's a percentage that it will crash. And that's
I'm I say I'm hoping y'all get Charles, man. Like experiencing it, yes, very fun console. Again, it's great, but yeah, I know it's crazy hard for anyone to grab one. My brother wants one, but obviously, you know, it's gonna be tough to get one. Plus, he's not really got, you know, like a whole bunch of things. He's looking to move out here where I'm at, but
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, it is hard to get a console. Like, even if I didn't have mine now, I know that I'd be struggling to find one because as soon as they go up, you know, you got people with the bots and buying like 12 of them damn things and then reselling them all. It's like, come on, man. Like, now you're just being stingy, bro. Now you're just being stingy. You already made your money with the last 12 you sold. You ain't got to do all
I
this.
know.
Wait, hold on, wait. Speaking of which, something I want to bring up to y'all. So I don't know if y'all seen this post or not, right? But so there's this. So you know how there's scalpers everywhere. There's this one scalper group in particular. They have more PS5s than any major retailers. They managed to get their hands on 3,500 consoles.
Imagine.
The fuck.
Imagine.
Major scalper, 3,500 consoles, more than Walmart. Major retailers, Target, Best Buy, more than all of them.
Oh my!
That's a perfect example why it's so hard to get one. They be using them bots. I ain't gonna lie. I might have to find me a little bot too. I ain't gonna lie. Shoot.
I mean, at this point, it seems like bots gonna be fighting to secure a PlayStation at this point.
Facts.
I know the even when because me and Mega Rock got out at the same time, so it was more of just refreshing and free. Like after the event, I sat at my computer hours straight. I told my girlfriend, "Hey, get in here, get your phone, get the iPad, refresh." You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like on it. Like you got a sale, you got something that can look up bestbuy.com, you refreshing it. I don't care what it is. Like, even if I have to buy his guest and go get it fixed at work later on, I don't care. I just want to get my console. So it takes a minute. I know it's been super rough because I've been seeing people, you know, with the bots, they'll show the picture on Twitter and like I got 6 of these joints and go to the page, and they reselling it for like $1,000, 1,500. I'm like, bro, now you just going bonkers, bro. That's just ridiculous.
I know. But it's probably go. I could say probably about like the mid of next year. Probably that not everyone should have one, but I feel like a majority of people should have some.
We'll have
Yeah.
one. Like general, like stock will be generally a lot easier for everyone just to go in and maybe grab one up.
I hope so.
Because yeah, I mean it's nothing crazy. I mean, I mean at this point, like there's not a whole bunch of games this year. Like that's at least the I guess the better side of it. There's not a whole bunch of games dropping this specific year unless you were picking up like Cyberpunk, maybe. But like for me, I'm gonna grab it for PC most likely unless PlayStation's got something exclusive for it. But I doubt that it will. So
I think
mean,
they
there's
will for
nothing-
Xbox. Xbox has been they got the edition for Xbox.
well, if I got an Xbox, it means I got PC. All the same to me. I don't know. I just for me, it's. I'm glad I got it. And at this point, at this particular point in time, you're almost using it as a sub PS4, honestly. Because I mean, I have Miles Morales, and I got the remastered Spider-Man, I got Valhalla, and I got Godfall. Those are my PS5 games. It's just those four. And I got like the Mortal Kombat with the PS5 upgrade. But at the same time, like I got these, and I just bought an external hard drive because this console ain't got no space. And I got some PS4 games downloaded that I play pretty constantly. So I'm like, right now, this is a sub PS4 because I beat Miles Morales. I've technically beat Spider-Man already. I don't really need to replay it. I'm just replaying it in 60 FPS because why the hell not?
Yeah.
It comes down to really, I'm just like, okay, cool. How much faster can this game load faster than on the PS4? Awesome. Play a couple minutes of it. All right, time to switch the game.
Speaking of that, I wonder where all of those people went that said Miles Morales was about to completely kill off Avengers and be a much longer lasting game.
Oh man, I already knew from the start. I already knew from the start that I was gonna be capped, man. It's
No.
I want to know where they at.
it's just the single player curse. As soon as you beat everything, you beat the story 100%. You can replay it, do the new game plus, and just redo the story again. Then after that, there's really nothing else to do. So
Yeah.
unless it's getting DLC, then that's understandable. But then even after that, it's still we're
You're
still
done.
do the same.
'Cause, I mean,
thing.
looking at Spider-Man PS4, after you do all three of the DLCs, you ain't touching it.
Yeah, like it's a good experience, but
Not even just that, because you have games like the Arkham series, single player, but they still fun. You can go through replay them.
Oh yeah.
There was one exception though, and that's Arkham Origins. Do you know why?
Then isn't Origin have
Multiplayer. That
multiplayer?
would have multiplayer.
The multiplayer.
Yep.
Arkham Origins multiplayer was criminally underrated. It was extremely fun because it was essentially a three-way match, right? You had the Joker gang versus the Bane gang versus Batman and Robin. Now the combat pretty much it works the same as normal Arkham controls, like the same way you do in story. It's just that now the goons that you're going around tying up off of gargoyles or knocking out or whatever, they're actual people. So you have to be a little bit more careful about how you move around, essentially. And the reason, and that also ties into Gotham Knights, because WB was the one who made Origins, and because Origins isn't considered as a part of the trilogy because it wasn't made by Rockstar.
Yeah.
So there are games like that, like you said, the games with DLC or maybe games that add multiplayer later on, like Ghost of Tsushima, that can necessarily break out of that cycle. Although Ghost of Tsushima doesn't really have that. I mean, it's fun, but it doesn't have that much.
Yeah. That's the thing. All these single player games are not gonna. They're not in actuality. They're not gonna outlast games like Marvel Avengers. You know what I'm saying? Again, like Spider-Man, you play it. If you platinum it, good for you. You know what I'm saying? But after you beat the main story, you really ain't got much else to do. You may do what maybe I do. Maybe it's just a me thing. But I'll pop in from time to time. I'll swing for a couple minutes and then I'll get off. You know what I'm saying? Just a nice little swing around the city, jump off a couple buildings, beat up a couple guys. I'm like, all right, well, I'm done with this game.
Yeah.
And you put in something else.
And that's just the thing, like I don't really like go into the hype about it when people say, it's like when Miles is gonna kill the game and all that. I'm like, man, I already know what's gonna happen, bro. I mean, I said it. I said it in videos once. I already know what's gonna happen. Like it's gonna be popular for like a couple weeks. Then that's it. That's it. To be honest, unless they come out with DLC, that's really it. So, and then Avengers is just gonna have more content coming out with new updates, quality of life features, and all that. So it's still gonna get talked about. I mean, like it's not going against Miles and anything because of course it's Spider Man and Miles did well. So it's gonna be talked about. Like even Spider Man PS4 still talked about to this day. So you know it's just how it is, to be honest. It's what it is. Let me see, get this up.
We are we are doing everything we can to make sure that this game stays afloat and that this game stays in the minds of everyone. And then you also have other people like Miller you know what, I'm going like this. I think we all know it. He knows it too. Miller is a big reason why a lot of people kept faith in this game.
Oh yeah, he teased stuff. He won't tease everything because he knows stuff, but he just not gonna tell us. He wants us to experience it. But
Like for example, what me and you found out yesterday.
uh, I ain't gonna. I don't remember. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, because he talked about a lot of stuff. I don't really. It depends.
You don't remember?
Wait. With that certain character?
The box.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I know you're talking about.
If that comes to fruition, you know what, Jaleel, you might get your wish for more black characters. That's all I'm gonna say. You might get your wish.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Prominent black.
Mm.
If that ends up panning out.
Oh yeah, you will for sure. Cause it's something you wouldn't expect either. So that's another thing.
Someone I wasn't expecting? Where?
I see, because here's the thing. The character has been around for like what? I want to say the past couple of years. I want to say like 2016. Like 2016, 2015. She has close ties. Oh shit, I said she. Fuck.
I mean, don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
Oh yeah, that's what it is.
What's that?
It was a it was a very out of the way pick. Like for me personally, I was expecting, I don't know, somebody like maybe Namor or or like Luke Cage, but no, that was a wild pick out the book. I mean, I'm glad that they're including more lesser known characters, but that one was a wild pick.
Hmm.
Let me see. What else? Shoot, what else we can talk? We talked about a lot today. I ain't gonna lie. We've been talking for like almost 2 hours.
Yeah, about to.
And like, I mean, this is like that's what happens when you can sit down and have a genuine conversation with people who can understand and don't heavily criticize.
Oh yeah, sure.
Uh, what else is there we can talk about? Because I know I had some stuff, but then my computer reset earlier, and then I lost the list that I had earlier, which kind of was a shame. But I know what I think up until this point, we've gone over we've gone over like a lot of, like, I want to say, key points, like the communication, the community, for example, how the game first panned out during release, because during release, whew, that first week was wonderful, but after that,
Oh yeah. It just
Yeah.
yeah, it got spooky.
Yeah.
I mean,
You just like my picture.
because I look at it like this: if there's nothing else here for us to speak about at this time, because everything that we pretty much talked about is up until this point in Avengers lifetime. We we could always do this. We could always do this like a second time. We could always do this like a second time. Like maybe after Kate gets
Oh yeah,
here,
like a couple weeks after Kate.
yeah, we've all had our like a week or so after we've all had our hands on her in the DLC and in the patches like because I think we're gonna get like what maybe like 2 to 3 maybe 4 patches before
Oh
then.
yeah, they gonna be patch, and left and right. But I mean, all good things that we'll need to make sure the game is optimized correctly. So yeah,
Yeah,
I think once after like she releases, we play her for a bit. You know, what I'm saying, see how she is, see what we like, what we don't like. We can jump back in here and drop them real honest opinions. Like, hey, like this is what we think about the character. This is what we don't like about the character, and again, and hopefully we can like really get the idea of what their roadmap option is, like what their roadmap is for the DLC kind of unveiling here.
yeah, because I was gonna say because I had talked to Random about it before, but I was kind of skeptical of it because I know I know that June is usually busy and you Jaleel are scarcely available. So you got to spend your time wisely and stuff. So like I could so like because but this first episode was basically a podcast. Basically, I had a whole idea of making this like a monthly thing for Avengers, where like we all could like what we like all convene and talk about everything that's been going on with the game up until that point. Like go over some stuff, like hash and stuff out, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cool with that. I don't have no problem.
Yeah, I'm definitely down for that. Yeah, and just let me know, and what I'm saying, I can kind of get that time appropriate and everything like that as best as I can for sure. Because between, I hate the holiday season. I do so much. Between
I
these
know how you
damn
feel. I
customers,
worked
man,
at Kmart. I worked the holiday season at Kmart before I got laid off. I know exactly how you feel.
it just yeah um between the customers and in between, like I said, it's I found myself in a situation where it's like you know how do you balance it all between working full time as a leader and to making sure I'm doing good on my job, but then also spending time with the family and the girlfriend because that's needs and wants and stuff of that nature, and then trying to balance not only this channel but the other channel that I have as
Oh
well
yeah,
too. So
you got a lot, bro.
it's and I never really knew for me like how it was gonna be holding two channels and like what I'm saying, and just kind of juggling those. I'm like, I can upload here on this one, and it's like one channel is sometimes some months this channel just gets a lot more love than this
Yeah.
one, and vice versa. So it's but the biggest thing, you don't want to let either channel down because say my main channel, the like Infamous Gaming, is that's my baby, that's my boy. Say this is where I started, this is where I did everything. This is where I learned the tips and tricks that I took over to that second channel, and that channel is really prospering. So just making sure I take care of both as much as possible. I want to make sure I stay on top of this game while being attentive to that. Work is so. If anybody from work is watching, yeah, sure, whatever. I really don't care that much. I like I don't want to say I like my job. I like getting paid. That's probably a better way to put really how
What's that?
I
Never
really
heard
show
of
up for the check.
Money is money is money.
Exactly. I come to collect the check and I guess fix an issue here and there, and I take my ass home. All I do.
Well, now it looks like I'm gonna have to think of a name, but I'm gonna have to think of a name.
Okay. Boom. But yeah, I know myself. I'm about to probably start getting some rest here. I got, yeah. This is my final day before Black Friday, so they're having me doing everything.
Oh yeah, I feel that, bro. And I
Yeah,
plan on streaming in the morning too. I'm gonna stream in the morning, then the afternoon I'm gonna just focus on that PS5 trying to secure it.
yeah, man. Jump on that, man. Like I said, once you get it, you're like, yes. Now you can be like, I can finally relax and enjoy it. That's the big part. Is like I can say without a doubt, it's a fantastic console. I love it, and playing games on it has been great. Um, But yeah, it's just I know securing it was it's gonna be tough, man. So I hope the best for you on that note.
I appreciate it.
Well, that being said, I'm actually about to hop off and get some rest here, man. You guys have a great night stream. You guys have also a good night, and I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, man. I agree. I mean, all right, did you? All right, man.
See ya.
You heading out too, Jim?
Yeah, I gotta get some rest. I'm gonna stream in the morning. I'm streaming in the morning and spend the rest of the day doing trying to get that PS5.
I'm gonna try to get it, but just in case I don't, I got one of my homies cause he got two already. He got one for him and his brother. I got him helping me out. So if I can't manage to get one, he'll just grab one for me, and then I can just buy it off.
I feel it. Ain't nothing wrong with that, bro. But I mean, I appreciate it. Appreciate it for having me in the podcast, man. It was cool. I like that. I was just chilling, just sitting back, chilling.
No problem. Cause for the next one when Kate gets here, I meant to tell all y'all this earlier. I'm actually cause I figure since the four of us is gonna be the main group, I figure we can maybe have a special game.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Cause I was talking to Miller before. I had Miller lined up to come in with us on the K-pop.
Oh yeah, that would be dope. Yeah, have Miller on there.
Yeah, cause he wants to do it. He actually would have been here tonight, but when I hit him up, he was already laid out in the bed and he was not moving.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm probably gonna get him there in the second one.
Okay. All right, man. I'm finna head out. Finna go give me some rest for the morning stream. But I appreciate you having me though, man.
No problem.
All right, man. I'm gone.
All right.
All right.